Premiership round 13, 14. Thinking URC, that's the 11. What are we at? 6 games on. I watched a couple. I've got knee surgery later today, so I was a little bit pressed for time. But I did watch a couple of games. We'll go through the events, the stats. You guys can let me know your thoughts on how things went. Then I go off and have my knee fixed. Happy days. Bath and Quins. Bath got 2 wins. Goodness gracious. And over the reigning champions. Didn't pick that one. That's for sure. But, man, the Bath fans turn out every game, seemingly no matter what. But, yeah, they'll be pretty chuffed with what they saw. I mean, Harlequins got 3 tries. Lamb, Murley, and Hammond got 1 towards the end. But Muir got 2 for Bath. The first one was phenomenal. I don't know how he got in on the left wing. Beat a couple of defenders and had a big old step on Green. Ajomo, who was playing at 10, had a nice pass to set things up. So you had Spencer doing the goal kicking. And it's a weird time this time of year because the Six Nations, you know, draws so many players away from the clubs. But yeah, that was a crazy game. Bath were unlucky. They had one that was held up, not given, but they managed to kind of score anyway a few phases later. So I guess that showed a bit of grit and determination. And they had a couple of chances, to be fair. Once where Spencer kicked the penalty dead, and then once where he missed the penalty where they were kind of, you know, not putting the nail in the coffin. And it could have come back to bite them because Quins are a team that likes a comeback, but not to be. So, yeah, Harlequins did get one towards the death, like I said. They hadn't had much ball in the second half, but they still managed to kind of get a try. When they got a try, they kind of came out of nowhere. But, yeah, Bath scrum penalty at the end basically meant it was game over. So, well done, Bath. I watched that one. That was a good watch. Hughes on his debut for Bath. 37 run meters, couple of defenders beaten, 6 from 6 tackles. Redpath, 44 run meters, clean break, and 3 defenders beaten, not too shabby. Hugh Jones, though, he was electric in the midfield for Quinn. 71 run meters, 2 clean breaks, and 4 defenders beaten. So it's interesting to see a few guys who have not been selected for their Six Nations squads try to put their hands up. Bath are 2 wins, 11 losses, and 13th. Harlequins are 3rd with an 8-5 record. Yeah, they've got Saracens away next week, Bath. Or is it next week? Six Nations on, Premiership still keeps going, right? And Harlequins have got Sale at home. The next one, London Irish and Exeter. I also watched this one. Cracking start for Exeter early, to be fair. They got the first try through Woodburn on 5 minutes, and then they got a second one through Schickel in the big prop on 18 minutes. And London Irish got a couple. Cornish got one on 22, and Stokes got one on 41. All scoring in the first half. Not a point scored in the second. It was quite bizarre. Armand had to go off when he got smashed into Ewer's hip. It was quite a collision, but it was friendly fire. So nobody was getting carded for that one, but it was a pretty horrific clash of bodies. But, yeah, it was such a weird one where there was just, like, the second half was entertaining, and you had Flatman on the commentary, and I do quite enjoy Flatman. He's always on his own, but I know not everyone he's not everyone's cup of tea, but I think he's quite good value. But yeah, it was weird. Neither side in the second half wanted to opt for 3 points. They both had numerous opportunities and just kept going for touch, but nobody could score. There was a weird one where there was a use it call, and they didn't use it when London Irish had a penalty. No, penalty had a maul, and they didn't use it. So, yeah, they pinged it towards Exeter's way. It was just bizarre. Eventually, London Irish opted for 3 towards the end when Exeter gave away a soft offside penalty from box kick. They missed it anyway, so there was just no scoring. Second half, really weird game. Run meters was 423 to 470. Tackling percentage, London Irish were at 93%, 200 odd tackles. That's a heck of a shift. Penalties conceded 17 by Exeter is where it falls down, 10 for London Irish. So yeah, Stokes 81 run meters, 3 defenders beaten. Joe Simmons 88 run meters, 6 defenders beaten. So there needs to be a Simmons cracking up the field. Joe was stepping in for his brother apparently, so yeah, well done. London Irish are 6th, 5 wins, 5 losses, 3 draws, and Exeter are down to 7th. They've got 7 wins and 6 losses, so it's been a bit of a mixed bag for them. Exeter are home to Wasps, and London Irish are away to Gloucester, which is looking like a pretty tough trip at the moment. The other games I only caught highlights. So Worcester and Northampton ends up being a bit of a hiding, with Northampton getting a bonus point win. Hutchinson, Matavesi, Mitchell and Fish. Worcester did get a couple. Sutherland and Beck, kind of a quick fire double in the second half. Mitchell's one was a nice sniping run. Certainly kind of putting the radar back on him, I guess, in terms of England possibilities. Yeah, it was a nice lead. It was like, what, 20, was it 19-3 or 22-3 before, like, it was looked like game over before Worcester got their kind of couple of tries to bring it back to game on. But the bonus point try for Northampton on 70 kind of just settled it. Like, try, and then 5 minutes later try. So, yeah, Northampton, their record's been a bit of a weird one. I think they're like 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 wins. So they need to make it 4 wins, I guess, at some point to really crack on. But yeah, Duan van der Merwe, 100 run meters, 11 defenders beaten. He is just still such a unit of a man. Hutchinson, 4 defenders beaten for him as well. 59 run meters. Wood, 16 from 16 tackles. Ted Hill also had 100 plus run meters, which is crazy for the Warriors. Northampton have got a bye. Worcester away to Leicester, so it doesn't get any easier. Down in 12th for Worcester, 3 wins is all they've had, and Northampton are up in 5th. Kind of like Quins at 8-5 record, but still behind on points. Newcastle and Gloucester. Gloucester are up into the top 4. Had some pretty good results. The wind in this one seemed to be pretty horrific, but yeah, there were still some goals kicked. And Newcastle's kind of bad run just goes on, and they haven't won for a long time. I know Radwan got a try. Mateo Carreras got one. And Madison got one at the death as kind of a consolation. But Gloucester, Pavaraskin, Santiago Carreras, Ludlow, Thorley and Lewis Rees-Zammit with probably the try of the game from his own 22. Proper bit of individual brilliance. You've probably seen that one. But yeah, the scoring at the start of this game was just crazy. I mean, 7th minute, 9th minute, 12th minute. Like, what was the score after 11, 12 minutes? It was 12 points to 8. It took a lot of points, 20 points in virtually half as much time. So the start of the game was, like I said, pretty crazy. But yeah, ultimately Gloucester are properly looking the business. They've had some really good results. I mean, how long has their coach been with them since Ackerman left? A couple of seasons? I guess it takes a while to kind of settle things in, but it seems to be coming pretty well. Run meters 330 to 431. I mean, 8 from 8 mauls for Gloucester. It's such a weapon for them. Clean breaks 8 to 3 for Gloucester. Ludlow makes 14 from 14 tackles. Santi Carreras makes 57 run meters, 3 clean breaks and 2 defenders beaten. Good to see the Argentinian having a good run. Radwan, 64 run meters, a clean break and 2 defenders beaten. Remember, he's been called up for England, so Newcastle will be without him. Flip van der Vault, 16 out of 17 tackles. Newcastle, yeah, they're in 10th. Slowly falling their way down the log. They're away to Bristol, and Gloucester up to 4th, home to London Irish, which could be a pretty tasty game because both sides are looking alright. What else we got? Sale and Leicester. Leicester, another loss. Just like Bath, another win. It's crazy. Whenever Bath win, Leicester lose. Sharks, maybe that's one of the beneficial things of having a lot of South Africans, partially, is that they're not going to be missing as many guys come Six Nations time, I suppose. But, I mean, still, they're without some guys. Ben Curry kind of had to step up. I know Sharks fans kind of love him as much as Tom, but yeah, Ben Curry had a pretty good game. Leicester without a few guys, that's for sure. But Leicester will be probably pretty gutted that they had a decent lead, like 18-5 in this game. Like, they get tries through Montoya too, and one through Porter. Porter's one, like, he was channeling his inner John Olomu with that try. We just went down the wing and flattened the defender. Was it 1 or 2 defenders? Can't remember, but it was a big old run. And then for the Sharks, man, they had heaps of tries. James Curry, Reed, Dan Dupria, and Roebuck. Roebuck showed some proper wheels at the end of this game. Ben Curry's one was a weird one because there was a maul and he just seemed to pop out the centre of it where nobody was waiting for him. So yeah, it was pretty crazy that Sale were able to come back second half performance, half time 18-5 down, and then they end the game with a bonus point win 35-26. Yeah, pretty bloody solid stuff. McGinty must have hit the post like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, the wind this weekend in England seemed to be pretty bad, to be fair. Roebuck, 120 run meters. Ben Curry, 12 from 14 tackles. Porter, 75 run meters, 6 defenders beaten in a clean break. So, yeah, there you go. Leicester are still first, 11-2. Still good record despite 2 losses. And the Sharks are 9th, 5 wins. So, they're away to Quins. Maybe not too late for them, but they need to get a real string of wins going, so we'll see what they can do. And the last one, Wasps and Saracens. Wasps, they're a bit of a weird team to watch this season, aren't they? Well, they knock over Toulouse, they lost, and then they're beating Saracens. Like, I don't know, it's just, I mean, the injuries have been proper horrendous for them, but it's just a real mixed bag, isn't it? Saracens' record's also looking a bit tenuous. There's a lot of teams around the kind of low 40 points, so there's still a lot of chopping and changing that could go on there. But yeah, tries for Wasps through Sprink and Stook, and then for Saracens it's Lewington, Wollstonecroft and Tompkins. The Tompkins one with the Lazowski conversion gets them a bonus point out of it, a losing one, and it's Jimmy Gopeth's boot that essentially 16 points get to Wasps the victory in this one. So I mean, Wasps seem to be monstering the Saracens scrum from what I've seen from the highlights. So, like, I know Mako's not in the Six Nations squad, but man, maybe that's with good reason. Just, I don't know, they just seem to be under the pump, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the try at the death saves a little bit of face for Saracens, but I mean, they were, what, 10-0 up, Wasps? Saracens replied, it was 13-all, I think. By half time, but yeah, Wasps, like I said, that boot of Jimmy Gopeth, plus a couple of tries, good enough to get it done. Run meters 428 to 295, possession 60-40, so happy days for Wasps. Tackling percentage 89% for Wasps, 91 for Saracens, but Saracens make 161 tackles to Wasps 93, so it's a fair bit of a shift, and the Saracens scrum stats is 4 from 8, so that's pretty bad. Lineouts 12 from 16, whereas Wasps are 15 from 15. So yeah, Saracens set piece seeming to let them down a wee bit. Ogra 9 from 9 tackles for him. Tompkins 64 run meters, 6 defenders beaten and 2 clean breaks. Yeah, it's a tough one. Wasps are away to Exeter. They are 8th, and Saracens are home to Bath. They are still in 2nd, so they'll be looking to bounce back with a good win. But yes, I would have usually watched at least one more of the games, but as I said, time is a-pressing. You guys let me know your thoughts on the games. How do you see things kind of playing out with so many of the internationals away? Is this a chance for some of the teams to kind of claw back some ground on the teams which are missing more of the international guys? I know every team is affected in one way or another, but obviously some are affected more so. So yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts. If you want any England rugby gear from, well, in prep for the Six Nations, England Rugby Store's got new lines. They've got sales on. Check the website out. I mean, they do 20% off, not every day, but kind of with semi-regularity. So check the website, link in the description there, an affiliate of the channel. Otherwise, guys, take care. Wish me luck. Gonna have my knee cut open. Just minor surgery, but yeah, fingers crossed. Be back walking in a week or two. So yeah, you guys take care. I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.